Thank you very much, sir, for affording me this opportunity to take part in the discussion on the very important bill, the Weapons of Mass Destruction and Their Delivery System, Prohibition of Unlawful Activities Amendment Act of 2022. Sir, the original Act of 2005 has to be amended and Section 12A has to be incorporated, by which financing of all these activities, financing itself is also becoming an unlawful activity in respect of these weapons of mass destruction. Such a new provision has to be incorporated by means of this amendment, and I fully support this bill and also the amendment, but subject to certain specific clarification from the Honourable Minister regarding the legislation. Sir, it is well accepted that the Indian position that the weapons of mass destruction is always a threat to the international peace and security. And nuclear weapons, chemical weapons and biological weapons, these have already been described as the weapons of mass destruction by UN Security Council Resolution of 1540 of 2004. And on the basis of that, we have enacted a legislation, and the original Act of 2005 has been legislated, and the bill was piloted by the then Foreign Minister, Sri Natwar Singh Ji, and that is to be amended. Sir, we have the bitter experience in Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Sir, in Hiroshima, in Japan alone, in the year 1945, August 6th and August 9th, we have seen that 66,000 people have instantly died, and 160,000 people have to die due to the radiation by the end of that year. So this is the mass destruction by these weapons. That is why in my opening remarks itself, I have stated that it is against international peace and security at any cost. That has to be disarmament policy of the Indian government, or the government of India has to be highlighted at all the international forums. Sir, in First World War, first it was invented by Germany and used the world's first weapons of mass destruction, that is poison gas, artillery shells and pressurized tanks that wafted the deadly toxins over the battlefield. It also killed and wounded thousands of people in the First World War. The first use was by Germany during the First World War. And all these bitter experiences have come to the conclusion, or it has persuaded the United Nations to incorporate this resolution or to adopt this resolution of UN Security Council 1540 on 28 April 2004 in Chapter 7 of the United Nations Charter, and it is still in existence. And India is a strong supporter of this disarmament policy. And in CTBT and the NPT, also our policy is very specific. We have to protect and safeguard the national security of the country. At the same time, we will never use it as the first. So such a concrete policy has been enunciated since independence. So as rightly just now E.T. Mohammed Bashir Sahib has said, we have to salute our forefathers for having our consistent policy in respect of this nuclear disarmament and all these things. Sir, coming to this particular amendment, I would like to seek the clarification from the Honourable External Affairs Minister, because this is for financing these weapons of mass destruction, its proliferation as well as its delivery. Proliferation of weapons of mass destruction and the delivery of the mass destruction, if any person includes company includes according to Section 20 of the original Act. So it is absolute and it is very clear, because Section 20 is very clear that a company includes a group of individuals also. So there is no fault in the definition, as well as using the word person also. There is no harm in it. I fully agree with it. My reservation is whether the original Act is not sufficient to deal with this subject also. See, I would like to quote Section 15. Section 15 of the original Act is also very clear. I would like to quote Section 15 of the Act. Sir, Section 15. Section 15 of the original Act, punishment for aiding non-state actor or terrorist. Any person who with intent to aid any non-state actor or terrorist contravenes the provisions of Section 9 of this Act shall be punishable with imprisonment for a term which shall not be less than 5 years, but which may extend to imprisonment for life, and shall also be liable to fine. And any person who with an intent to aid means intent to finance. even the financing, the proliferation and the delivery of weapons of mass destruction will come within the purview of section 15 of the Act. And sir, coming to section 7, sir, I'm within the bill, because this is an amendment to the original Act. My question to the Honorable Ministry is whether the amendment is highly essential or required. I fully support the amendment, no doubt about it. Yes, whether it is required, because already the existing provisions in the original Act itself is very clear, but there is no provision to seize of the property, I do agree. And punishment, section 17, punishment for violation of the provisions of the Act, where any person contravenes or abets or attempts to contravene. Abets or attempt to contravene. That abets and attempts means a person or a company who is financing this proliferation of the weapons of mass destruction or delivery of the mass destruction also, the section 17 will be attracted. So I am, with this clarification which I would like to seek from the Honorable Minister, and also section 3, sir, I am concluding. Section 3, clause 4 is also very clear that the applicability of the Act is also very clear. Subclause 4 of section 3. So there is no ambiguity in this. Only such a clarification I am seeking, and hence I fully support the bill. With these words I conclude. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you. Honorable Member Sri P. Ravindranath Kumarji.